These are 2 pieces of wood I picked up from some friends who run a kombucha company, and I saw them at their factory and kind of had a vision of something for plants to grow up. So we're going to take those down to the garden. Ooh. Welcome to March in our 1/3 of an acre urban-ish garden. I want to show you what we've been doing over the last month here as we kind of work towards growing as much as we can, really using the space. By far the most exciting thing that happened in the last month was getting this. I came home from school one day and they were digging up the end of my road, but it's really good dirt. They just cut a bank away, so I ran up to them and said, could I have it? And
they said yes. I was so happy. It was actually beneficial to them because they were going to pay to have to haul it away and dump it, so they were really happy to get to dump it somewhere locally. I was really happy to take it off their hands and use it for multiple different things. It was a real win-win, so always worth asking.
And it's let us fill in this pond pit that we have had sitting. I knew it was going to take time. I was happy with the journey, but this let us put it in and also fill in some new raised beds. Christmas in March, the score of the month. In my last garden video, which you can see up here, I looked at what we've been doing in the deepest winter months and prepping the garden ready, because this is our first full growing season in this house. You can see here our apple trees. They are happy there. No one's killed them with a football yet. And then come on, let's go down into the rest of the garden. Our aim is to turn every little space that we can into an area that can grow food. So that's one of the things we've been doing in this last month. I got some pallet collars off Facebook Marketplace and we filled them here. They've got some broad beans in down here. But we did cardboard and then some homemade compost and then dirt from soil. Soil, Americans, dirt, English people, soil. That stuff in the pile. And then there's another space that we got ready to plant as well around here. So I got some extra poles that we found behind the shed, and then we've done the same. We've got this cardboard down here to suppress the weeds, and then compost from our compost bin. Then some of the soil from that soil pile. And then I've got some leaves, dry leaves on top. And then we've got peas in here. We've got 2 different types of peas. Okay, and then come into the greenhouse. It's a sad greenhouse. The door fell. I started pretty much all our seeds, the March seeds, inside the house. One thing I found super helpful is Charles Dowding has a fantastic growing calendar. I will link it below, that just tells you exactly what to do. He is in a similar zone to us, so it works perfectly if you're in the south of England, but he also tells you how to adjust it for different zones. And it is literally a calendar of the year, and it says, plant this seed, transplant this. So I have been absolutely following that. Got a lot of different tomatoes. I labeled them. I'm now not sure what's what, so that'll be a surprise. And then I'm watering with a milk bottle with holes cut in the top, so it's just a gentle stream. We've got chard. Everything germinated pretty well except my beetroot and spinach, which had like a 40% germination rate and is a bit rubbish. But loads of tomatoes. And then these are some more sweet peas and more onions. I'm also in here, I have some tiny raspberry runners. I'm going to try and cultivate in here and grow, and then we'll add them to the raspberry patch. We're in our raspberry patch, and these raspberries are beginning to get great little shoots all around them, and I have found a few little suckers or runners, so I'm going to dig around them and hopefully transplant them. I'm going to take just one little one like this, yeah? Down in that nice soil. So we're kind of coming up on having been here a year. We're seeing the final bits of things popping up that we didn't know were here, but there was a giant pond here, and I can now get out into the pond. This is honestly the most exciting thing. I thought it was going to take years years, honestly, to fill this pit, but we have been wheeling so many wheelbarrows of dirt. Every bit of sunshine there's been, I've got everyone out here. So soon we'll be able to do something with this. I'm kind of figuring out where everything will go. I started out by drawing a plan of the garden and then realized this is so hard because you're going to have different things in different spots at different times through the year. And I saw someone's great advice to have a month by month plan of the garden. So I'm in the process of doing a month by month so I can see what will come out of these beds when, and then what will be open so that we can really grow as much as we can in this space. We'll do something with these. I don't know what yet. I'm thinking maybe strings in between and they can do peas or beans. Or maybe we set them upright and things can grow on both sides. I don't know, but if we can reuse and repurpose things, that's always something I love to do. At the end of last strawberry season, I grabbed a ton of strawberry runners. And initially, I didn't want to take up a lot of square footage with strawberries because they're there the whole year and they take up a lot of space for about a 2-week production season. So I thought about growing them vertically. You can see that in the last video. I'm not as Pinteresty as I thought I might be. So we've just put them in some pots dotted around the garden in sunny spots. Come here, come help me.
Why are you not planting this bed?
I think that one's going to be potatoes. Give it a little shake.
Okay. Mommy.
Yep, that one. And at some point we'll make some beautiful vertical strawberry situation, but we're just gonna see what happens with these this year, take the little runners from them and go from there. Yeah, there's not much in here right now. These are parsnips from last year. In here we've got some garlic in. You can see it's just sprouting up. I actually found this sprouting in my kitchen. So we just ran out here and popped it in, but we've got about 10 or 15 garlic, and then we have got some carrots direct sown in there. So most stuff I've started in the greenhouse, but there are a few things that will direct sow outside as it warms up. Through the year last year, we started seeing raspberry canes pop up. We've got some beautiful raspberry canes coming up, which at some point will just need some support, but we will get to that in the coming months. And then I've thrown down a lot of dead leaves from around the garden to kind of mulch them in. There, come on down. This is where our bees are. They have been out a lot. Anytime it gets over about 10 or 11 degrees, they're out. This hive, really sadly, we lost through the winter. I thought we might lose one, and we did, just because of how strong they were after I split them. Last season, the hive looked like it was going to swarm, and so I split the hive, so we had one quite small colony. But these ones are alive and well. You can probably see them buzzing right now, actually, because it's about 11 degrees. We are... What's the date today? The 8th of March. And, oh, there they are. There they go. I am opening up some bee food that I just picked up from the post office. Even though it's warming up, it's too cold to feed them liquid food, and I want to make sure they have enough to be surviving on while they're all huddled inside the beehive. So we're going to go out and give them some fondant. It's kind of like icing. It's just sugar, but it means that they can eat it while it's still chilly.
This is what the bee food looks like. We're going to just cut it open so they can get into it, and we are feeding them just to get them through the early part of the season where there isn't a ton of food around for them, but they're out and buzzing around. I'm suiting up. I don't ever go out there without this on, mostly because it keeps me calm. I've got 2 hats on, you can see, because there are some small holes in the main suit, so it just helps keep me calm. And then we're going to pop that fondant onto right on top of the frames. You can see I've got an extra piece of the box just to create enough space for the height of the fondant, and hopefully that will give them what they need to get through this early part of the season.
So further down here, I said in my last video how my one birthday request was chickens, and different people in my family sponsored a chicken for my birthday. So that will be here, which I keep showing you and it keeps not happening, but we will get there. And I'm finding a real shortage of ducklings and people supplying ducklings in our area. So ducks was originally the dream, as well as chickens, to run them together. We will see where we get on that, because I can't find any ducklings within about a 3-hour radius. We've had a lot of rain. It's still quite boggy, which was some of my inspiration for ducks, thinking that they could use and forage in this area through the months when it is too wet for us to use. But we'll see what comes of that. Okay, but come on. These are some of my favorite animals. Oh, you can't come over here, can you? Tried to make Jared come across the boggy part in his Birkenstocks. We're not going to do that to him, but in here, some of my favorite little animals. And this is our compost. And it is actually, you can't see any worms in there right now, but they are alive and well in there and doing their good and important work. They're a lot faster. Oh, look, there they all are. Look at them. So sometimes when they clump up around the top, that is evidence that they are not happy with the conditions in the compost. And the amount that I am now seeing down here, I am wondering if they are not actually happy with the compost in here. So we will have a little look and aerate and see what is going on. This was a gift from a friend for my birthday, the best kind of gift. I think it's a Duke blueberry bush. So we'll pop that in, I think, here. I'm trying to look at where all the sun is coming into the garden and harness all the sunniest spots. That is what is happening in our garden in March. You've got a lot of seeds in, and really from now it's just a lot of planting and rotating things through these beds, trying to plan it well so that no space is wasted, and figuring out how to grow as much as we can and have fun. If you want to stay around and watch some more, there are a couple of other videos previously from when we did a big garden renovation and changed this whole space. You can watch that here, or there's last month through the winter in the garden and getting ready to plant, and that is here.